Good evening. I'd like to, President Livingston is unable to attend the meeting tonight, so I'd like to call the meeting to order. And with that, I'd like to do a roll call. Trustee Augustine.
Here.
Trustee Gale.
Here.
Trustee Katinik.
Here.
Trustee Kukler.
Here.
Trustee McCarty.
Here.
Given that President Livingston is unable to attend tonight, I'd like to see if there's a motion to elect our senior trustee, Trustee Kukler, as chairperson pro tem. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Trustee Kukler as President Pro Tem for this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Kukler? All yours.
Thank you, trustees, and I guess I won't have to move since I already sat in the seat. But if we could all rise and ask Clerk Burns to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
My pleasure. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we do this first. President Livingston has moved to appoint Ms. Peterson for a spot on the Zoning Board of Appeals. So I would welcome any of my fellow trustees to make a motion to have her appointed.
I'll move to have, gotta get her name, Ms. Peterson appointed to the Zoning Board of Appeals per the President's request.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So is Ms. Anjali Peterson here? Ms. Peterson, thank you for serving, and we look forward to having you on the commission. Thanks. President Livingston also asked me to congratulate and thank the LGBA for a very special and successful event this past Saturday, and that's the LGBA Holiday Walk. Hopefully, everybody was able to attend. It's a wonderful and festive way for us to showcase our downtown and the various businesses. The businesses historically and again this year opened their doors and provided generous giveaways and promotions, displayed their appreciation to the community. Santa, live music, and a trolley were just a few of the wonderful activities available for everyone to enjoy. There was an incredible amount of time and effort put into the event by many individuals. We appreciate the LGBA Board President Joseph Kroc, Nancy Cummings, who's the Executive Director, as well as all the staff that put in so many hours. They did a fantastic job. Our dedicated employees, the Public Works, Fire, Police, and the Police Auxiliary, who volunteered so many hours. We wish everyone a happy and healthy holiday season and remind you to continue to shop in LaGrange. Following up on that, President Livingston also wanted me to advise everybody that there's the 4th annual toy drive. This is the LaGrange Police Department hosts the annual toy drive. It was started actually by the patrolmen on their own initiative, and it's just been a fantastic thing. It's this Saturday, December 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Park District Recreation Center, 536 East Avenue. Participants are asked to stuff the squad with an unwrapped toy donation. Anyone donating a toy will gain access to the Park District indoor playground during the event. The event results from many dedicated hours by our police department to help celebrate the season and LaGrange's spirits of giving. Toy donations will benefit All Children's Advocacy Center, which is one of our important community partners. In addition, on Friday, December 13th, weather permitting, will be the last day for the village to come around and pick up leaves. So you have a couple of days, if you're watching this, to rake your leaves to the curb, and the village will be coming by one more time to pick them up. In addition, our next meeting that's scheduled is December 23rd. Due to the holidays, we will be canceling that meeting, and the next regular meeting of the village board will be held on Monday, January 13th, 2020. Clerk Burns, can you read the items on the consent portion, followed by the items on the current business?
Certainly. Matters on the consent agenda will be considered by a single motion and vote because they have already been fully considered by the board at a previous meeting or have been determined to be of a routine nature. Any member of the Board of Trustees may request that an item be moved from the consent agenda to current business for separate consideration. There are several items on the consent agenda. Item A, ordinance, plat of re-subdivision for 637 South Wyola Avenue, Gerald Abram and Amy Reif. Item B, ordinance creating an additional Class B liquor license in Ayat Inc., doing business as 7-Eleven, number 13324G. Item C, purchase, consolidation of village computer servers and water billing software upgrade. Item D, ordinance, disposal of surplus property, police department. Item E, minutes of the Village of LaGrange Board of Trustees regular meeting Monday, November 11, 2019. Item F, minutes of the Village of LaGrange Board of Trustees regular meeting Monday, November 25th, 2019. Item G, consolidated voucher 191125. Item H, consolidated voucher 191209. And under current business, there are a few items. Item A, ordinance abatement of 2019 tax levy, general obligation, alternate revenue, water bonds, Series 2012A. Item B, ordinance, abatement of 2019 tax levy, general obligation, alternate revenue, sewer bonds, Series 2015. Item C, resolution levying a tax for library operating purposes. And, excuse me, item D, ordinance 2019 property tax levy for village operations.
Thank you, Clerk Burns. At this time, is there a manager's report?
Thank you. The Village Hall will be closed at noon on Tuesday, December 24th, and on Tuesday, January 31st, as well as all day Wednesday, December 25th, and Wednesday, January 1st for the holidays. Regular business hours will resume on Thursday, December 26th, and Thursday, January 2nd. A full complement of public safety personnel are available, and refuse service will be delayed by 1 day for residents south of 47th Street the week of December 23rd and December 30th. Holiday trees are scheduled to be picked up beginning January 6th through January 16th, and no stickers are required. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who has anything to comment regarding items that are on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move to the consent agenda and vote.
Trustee McCarty.
Oh, we need a motion and second, and we need Beth to.
President Pro Tem, thank you. As I've stated previously, I recuse myself from voting items on the voucher related to the village prosecutor.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you, trustees.
Now, Trustee McCarty.
Aye.
Trustee Kukler.
Aye.
Trustee Katina.
Aye.
Trustee Gale.
Aye.
Trustee Augustine.
Aye.
And those have passed. Moving on to matters on the current business, we're going to put Trustee Augustine to work for the next several minutes. So starting with A, the ordinance for abatement of the 2019 tax levy general obligation alternate revenue water bonds, Series 2012A.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem. I'll be discussing the two abatements first, and we have to approve these abatements, of course, so that the county does not levy on our behalf additionally. So this first ordinance, which is the abatement of 2019 tax levy general obligation, alternate revenue water bonds. In 2012, the village board approved two significant infrastructure improvements to the village water system. The first improvement provided for the replacement of the village's residential and commercial water meters, all of which had reached the end of their useful life and thus became inaccurate. The second improvement provided for various mechanical and technical upgrades for the village's water pumping station located on East Avenue at Plainfield Road. In order to provide funding for these two capital projects, the village board adopted an ordinance on September 10, 2012, authorizing an issuance of $2.08 million in general obligation alternate revenue water bonds. The Series 2012A water bond issue is a general obligation alternate revenue source issue backed by the full faith and credit of the village. This type of bond issue is payable from pledged alternate revenues with the full faith and credit of the village acting as backup security. The full faith and credit pledge to the village authorizes Cook County to annually levy taxes for the bonds unless an abatement for a specific tax levy year is received. For the Series 2012A water bond issue, the village has identified revenues derived from water sales as the alternative revenues pledged to pay for the principal and interest expenditures relating to this issue. Sufficient monies are budgeted and available within the water fund from water sales in fiscal year 2020-2021 to pay for this expense. Therefore, it is appropriate to abate the portion of the bonds maturing during fiscal year 2020-2021 from the 2019 tax levy. So it is my recommendation that the village board adopt the attached ordinance abating taxes levied for the year 2019 with respect to the $2,080,000 general obligation alternate revenue water bond Series 2012A in the amount of $128,430.
So Trustee Augustine, are you making that motion then?
I am making the recommendation that we adopt the ordinance. I'm making the motion. Okay.
You need to
Then
make a motion.
yes.
or somebody else
Yes.
does.
So I make the motion that we accept this ordinance.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Certainly. Trustee Augustine.
Aye.
Trustee Gale.
Aye.
Trustee Katina.
Aye.
Trustee Kukler.
Aye.
Trustee McCarty.
Aye.
All voting in favor, it passes. Moving on to B, the ordinance abatement of the 2019 tax levy general obligation alternate revenue sewer bonds, Series 2015, also referred to Trustee Augustine.
I get to do this 3 more times. They're all fascinating, though, and they're all important. In 2015, the village board deliberated and subsequently approved a set of revenue enhancements, which in the aggregate enabled the village to address critical sewer needs. Infrastructure improvements include construction of the 50th Street Relief Storm Sewer and a lateral sewer to Depression Area Number 5, which is located at 48th Street and 9th Avenue. In order to provide funding for these sewer improvements projects, the village board adopted an ordinance on August 24th, 2015, authorizing the issuance of a $14.5 million in general obligation alternate revenue sewer bonds. The 2015 sewer bond issuance is a general obligation alternate revenue issue, similar to the ordinance I just read. Sufficient monies are budgeted and available within the general fund and sewer fund from the various taxes and sewer sales in fiscal year 2020-2021 to pay for this expense. Therefore, it is appropriate to abate the portion of the bonds maturing during fiscal year 2020-2021 from the 2019 tax levy. So it is my recommendation, and I motion, that the village board adopt the attached ordinance abating tax levies levied for the year 2019 with respect to the $14,500,000 general obligation alternate revenue sewer bonds, Series 2015, in the amount of $2,181.20.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote?
Can I get a question?
Sure, sorry.
Thanks. Lou, I think this is probably for you. Two questions. When we say sufficient monies are budgeted and available, I know we ran a special sales tax to facilitate these bonds. Do we generally run at 100% over, or what's kind of the trend that we've seen to support this?
Specifically on the non-home rule sales tax?
Yep.
The last couple years, it's been a little bit less than what we had anticipated in terms of what the budget amount is. We've seen an increase though in this year, and we expect to be pretty close to where we would be expecting to in terms of the non-home rule sales tax.
Okay. And then the second question, I know we issued these bonds in a historically low interest rate period, but do we consider refinancing options at any point, or do we look at that periodically?
We would consider refinancing. The bonds are not eligible to refinance, I believe, for a period of 10 years,
Okay.
Depending on what the interest rate environment is at that point in time.
Great.
But right now, they're at about a 3% yield, so probably still a good rate in this interest
Not
rate
too bad.
environment as well.
Great. Thank you.
Kutinek. Any other questions? Roll call vote.
Trustee Kotinik,
Aye.
Trustee McCarty,
Aye.
Trustee Kukler,
Aye.
Trustee Gale,
Aye.
Trustee Augustine.
Aye.
And C, we're at a resolution for levying a tax for the library operating purposes, also referred to Trustee Augustine.
Thank you. So this is a resolution, as Trustee Kukler said, levying a property tax for the library operating purposes, and a formal request from the library was made in our November meeting, and members of the library board are here tonight if we should have any questions. The LaGrange Library is a municipal library rather than a separate public library district, and as such must levy property taxes as part of the village of LaGrange tax levy. If it is necessary for Cook County to reduce the property tax levy as a result of the Property Tax Limitation Act, the library tax levy will be reduced in the same proportion as the village tax levies, which does not affect the village's taxing ability for the 2019 extension. The LaGrange Library Board of Trustees 2019 tax levy request for operating purposes is $2,466,664, which is a 3.27% increase, including new growth over last year's tax levy. This amount reflects the allowable increase under the Property Tax Limitation Act and is equal to the increase of the village tax levy request. In August 2012, the library refunded the 2004 general obligation library bonds, which were originally issued for construction of the new library building. By refunding the outstanding bonds, village residents will realize a net interest savings of approximately $750,000 over the remaining life of the bond issue, which matures on December 1st, 2024. The final maturity date of the outstanding bonds was not extended as a result of the refunding. Representatives, as I said, representatives from the LaGrange Library will be here and are here. So again, if we have any questions at all, we can certainly ask them to come on up and discuss those with us. But prior to that, I'd like to recommend and motion that the attached resolution be approved for the library board, and we approve that we accept that.
Second.
Thank you, trustees. Any questions? Seeing none, if we could have a roll call vote.
Certainly. Trustee Kukler,
Aye.
Trustee McCarty,
Aye.
Trustee Kotinek,
Aye.
Trustee Gale,
Aye.
Trustee Augustine.
Aye.
All right, and D, the ordinance for the 2019 property tax levy for village operations, again, to Trustee Augustine.
Thank you. This is it. The preliminary 2019 let me start again. The preliminary 2019 property tax levy was reviewed and discussed in detail at the November 11th, 2019 Village Board meeting. As part of this review, it was determined that the increase in the levy would not exceed truth in taxation requirements, and therefore pursuant to state statutes, the village is not required to hold a public hearing prior to adoption of the final levy. The final levy tax, which includes no changes or revisions from the preliminary tax levy, reflects an increase of 3.27%, exclusive of debt, over the prior year's tax extension. The increase in the property tax levy reflects the allowable increase under the Property Tax Limitation Act of 1.9% CPI as of December 2018. The remaining levy increase represents estimated new growth of $5 million equalized asset assessed value from estimated residential and commercial construction during the fiscal year, plus 4.75 EAV to reflect an increase in the base equalized assessed value from the Pathway Aspired Senior Living Residential Development Project. If such new growth does not occur, the property tax levy will automatically be lowered by Cook County. Cook County uses bond ordinances on file to calculate required levies for debt service. As such, the levy request for debt service for the LaGrange Library, included as part of this report, is being presented for informational purposes only. And by including the debt service levies with the operating levy request, we can then estimate the change in property taxes resulting from the 2019 levy request. The effect of the 2019 levy will have on an average home with an estimated market value of $500,000 is an increase of $26.05 from the village levy and an increase of $8.73 from the library levy. As part of the annual property tax levy, a special service area 7 levy is filed with Cook County to fund ongoing maintenance of the central business district. This special service area tax levy is not subject to the truth in taxation requirements. The special service area boundaries substantially follow that of the former TIF district, with the exclusion of any single family and multifamily properties. By ordinance, the special service area levy is to be adjusted annually by the Consumer Price Index utilized as part of the Property Tax Limitation Act. Therefore, the 2019 special service area levy of $90,601 reflects an increase of 1.9% over last year's levy of $88,912. In its initial year, which was 2016, the village also approved a special service area ordinance to establish a reserve fund in the amount of $10,000 for maintenance, repair, construction, replacement, and similar services related to the Uptown LaGrange development sidewalk. Pursuant to the SSA ordinance, in subsequent years, the village will discontinue the levy until such time money is expended from the reserve fund, at which time the village will then levy the amount necessary to replenish the reserve fund of $10,000 plus interest at a rate not to exceed 5% per year. As no funds were expended from the reserve for sidewalk maintenance or repairs, the village will not impose a levy for SSA 9 as part of the 2019 property tax levy request to Cook County. So I recommend and motion that the village board adopt the attached ordinance requesting a 2019 property tax levy of $9,864,854 exclusive of debt service, which is a 3.27% increase from the 2018 tax levy.
Second.
Thank you, trustees. Any questions? Questions? Seeing none, if we could get a roll call vote.
Certainly. Trustee Gale.
Aye.
Trustee Augustine.
Aye.
Trustee Katina.
Aye.
Trustee Kukler.
Aye.
Trustee McCarty.
Aye.
Thank you, Trustee Augustine. Great job. At this time, there's an opportunity for anyone from the audience to speak about village matters that were not on our agenda. If you have any questions or comments, please come to the microphone. Seeing none, I would ask if there's any trustee comments. Trustee McCarty.
Thank you, Trustee Kugler. Just a couple of things I'd like to say. I'm reminded of the time, no, not really. There, two things. Thanks to the village public works staff and to our economic development director for the wonderful job that we did on the holiday walk this Saturday. It was a beautiful thing. And to all the people that came to our downtown, it's really amazing to see that. And hopefully all of you also saw that once again this year we will be collecting and recycling Christmas tree lights. If your holiday lights are not used, if you pull out that big bundle of Clark Griswold lights and decide you can't relight them, don't throw them away. Bring them to one of our drop-off stations, and they will get recycled. And we're doing that with the Village of LaGrange Park. There's some drop-off stations in LaGrange Park also. And so thank you for putting that together and the help for the Public Works on that too.
And Trustee McCarty, just following up on that, you cannot just throw the lights into your regular recycling, correct?
Correct. They have to bring them to one of the drop-off stations. I don't remember all of them. The Village Hall is a drop-off station. The parking garage lobby, the library, and I think the police station has a drop-off.
And it's on the webpage also.
Yeah, it's on the website.
Any other comments? There is no need for a closed session tonight, so at this time I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn the meeting tonight.
Second?
Thank you, trustees.
Vote?
Roll call vote or just a voice vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you, everyone.
Good night.